Vladimir Gavrilovich Salbiev fought bravely for his country during the Great Patriotic War. Together with other snipers Passar and Bayan, they liquidated almost 350 Hitlerites. Salbiev destroyed 165 enemies during the whole war. But the war had a serious impact on him. He could not contain his emotions when after the victory he returned to the city where the heavy battles took place. Salbiev was born in the small village of Tot in the Caucasus. He finished 7th grade and moved with his parents to Orjonikidze, Vladikavkaz. At first he looked after cattle, and then he was drafted into the army. In 1940 he returned, worked in the police for a year, and the Great Patriotic War began. He was immediately assigned to snipers, as Vladimir Gavrilovich was a good shot. He visited almost all sections of the front from Ukraine to Leningrad. Near Stara Russa in 1942 the Red Army soldier was wounded. He spent 6 months in hospital, and he was sent to the front again. Vladimir Salbiev was sent to the hottest point at that time. The sniper was on the front line all day long and destroyed a dozen Germans every day. The Red Army man recalled how difficult the conditions were there. Advancement was very difficult, only 10 meters could be taken away per day. Hitlerites threw all their forces on Stalingrad. Salbiev often showed ingenuity in fights. Once one enemy sniper did not even let him stick his head out. Then he made a scarecrow, took a turtleneck and stuffed it with straw. The enemy shot, found himself, and the Soviet marksman instantly eliminated him with a skillful shot. The Red Army man also told about one more funny case. 5 soldiers in Soviet uniforms were walking towards him. Someone demanded that they shouted the password, but the disguised Hitlerites jumped into cover and started shooting. A close fight ensued, 4 of them were taken out at once, and the last one was taken alive, but he turned out to be very strong. I had to bite him to the blood, the German howled and we had time to twist him. After Stalingrad Salbiev's regiment was transferred to Kharkov. There in battle he was seriously wounded. The Red Army soldier stayed in hospital for several months. One of the splinters in his head could not be removed, and the Soviet gunner spent his whole life with it. Vladimir told how he received a second wound and lost his rifle in the right bank Ukraine, which was given to him personally by Khrushchev. The enemy forces were several times larger, but the sniper's platoon managed to hold off the counterattack. But he was wounded again and taken to the hospital. The rifle was later found and transferred to the museum. In 1945, the famous sniper returned home to his parents to take care of them. His mother and father were long-lived and raised 5 other frontline soldiers. Both his parents lived to be 100 years old and felt great, but they still needed help. Salbiev first worked in criminal investigation, and when his age prevented him from continuing his service, he started working at a liquor factory. One day his boss asked him if he had ever been to Stalingrad, as he had to go there for work. The legendary sniper answered positively. He had been through the entire Battle of Stalingrad. The director's jaw almost dropped from what he heard, and they went to see the restored city. Vladimir said, "I should have been warned in advance." The war hero wanted to wear the best suit. During the tour he was invited to the local museum, where his personalized rifle was given. Salbiev looked at the exhibits for a long time, and then went to the memorial. The sniper saw his own name there. Emotions overwhelmed him completely. He remembered everything he had experienced and began to weep bitterly. Having calmed down, he returned to the director of the plant. They left, and the owner of 21 state awards never returned there again. Friends and relatives said that Salbiev had been through a lot, so he always walked very sad. But when he rarely smiled, he seemed like a completely different person. One of the best snipers of the Great Patriotic War died in 1996.